Hi everyone, welcome to this channel. If you're watching this video because you are confused about which tech stack to learn, congratulations. You are exactly where every software engineer has been. We all open YouTube and search for Learn MERN. Open LinkedIn and we see AI is replacing everyone. And when you ask your senior, they say you should learn Java. And it is kind of when you ask another senior and they say don't touch Java. When you will open Reddit, you will find worst mistake of your life of learning Java. Everyone has an opinion, but companies don't hire opinion. They basically hire your skills. So today, we are going to rank the biggest tech stacks not based on hype, not based on fan voice, and definitely not based on who is shouting the loudest on social media. We will rank them based on demand, salary, future growth, AI disruption, and how good they actually are as career in coming days. And before you guys start commenting, this isn't a Java versus Python war. This isn't a MERN is dead video. This is simply one engineer's opinion after looking at whether the industry is heading. So let's make a few developers quite angry. In the frame, we have the MERN stack. MERN is MongoDB, ExpressJS, React, Node. Basically, JavaScript looked at every other programming language and said, fine, I'll do everything myself. Frontend, JavaScript. Backend, JavaScript. API calls, JavaScript. And also the real-time chat could be done using JavaScript. If JavaScript could make coffee, developer would never leave VS Code. The biggest advantage of MERN is speed. You can build an entire product with one ecosystem. That's exactly why startups love it. And when you want to join startup, obviously MERN stack could be one of your choice. But a scalable architecture, performance tuning, authentication, security, and debugging are still very much work, even if we consider AI that is already generating React component and basic Express APIs. And talking about salary, good. Demand, quite strong. Future, still bright, especially if you learn TypeScript, database, and system design instead of only React. But still, I won't put it in S plus tier, I will be putting it in S tier. You may argue why I do this, but yes. Next, we have this cloud and DevOps thing. So let me ask you something. You build the world's greatest application. Congratulations. Where are you going to run it? On your laptop? Localhost? That's where cloud engineers enter. Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, CI/CD monitoring infrastructure, lots of buzzwords. These are the people making sure your application does not disappear because someone forgot to renew a certificate. It is not always a glamorous work, but every modern software company depends on it. And the market is quite huge. I am placing cloud as S plus tier. It is high in demand in 2026. Now comes the celebrity of 2026, that is the Python AI plus ML card. And if you open LinkedIn today, you will probably see AI in every third post or second post. Companies are investing heavily in AI because they believe it can improve product, automate work, and create new business. But here is the catch. Watch a few prompts or prompt engineering videos. And real AI work involves Python, machine learning, data, model evaluation, maybe deployment, and understanding how these models behave in production. It is quite exciting, and trust me, in 2026, it is growing quite fast, and you are seeing a lot of poaching over the internet or over the LinkedIn that OpenAI engineer has been poached by Anthropic and such cases. Also, it has one of the highest learning curves. And if you are genuinely interested, it is an incredible field with a quite good salary. I am placing Python plus AIML into S plus tier in 2026. And just to make sure, if you are chasing only hype that I am an AI engineer or something, it can become frustrating real quick. Next comes the cybersecurity. You know what is guaranteed in text? Basically bugs and hackers trying to find them first. Every year companies lose huge amount of money because of security breaches. That's where security isn't an optional team anymore. It is a core part of software development. Roles include ethical hacking, cloud security, application security, incident response, and identity management. AI is helping defender and attacker, so the field keep evolving. However, there are not that many jobs available at this moment for cybersecurity, and whatever the jobs are, they are basically for senior members or senior security engineers. So I will be placing cybersecurity in S tier. Some may argue that it could be placed in S plus tier, but that's solely my opinion. Then comes the data engineering. So everyone is talking about AI, AI. Nobody talks about who prepares the data. That's the main ingredient. Before dashboard work, before machine learning models train, before analyst creates report, someone has to collect, clean, move and organize the data. And that is what data engineers do. You will work with databases, pipeline, cloud, platform, distributed system and some super hype tool like Spark and Kafka. It is not as flashy as AI, but companies desperately need good data engineers. And if the data is bad, even the smartest AI model gives bad answer. I will place the data engineering to S tier. So far, we have filled the top of the list, but now comes an interesting group. Technology that pays really well, have loyal communities, yet somehow are always part of online argument. And we can say easy ones are over, like we have placed some of the easy ones in S plus and S tier. Now we are entering the danger zone. These are the stacks one where one person could say, bro, best career ever. And someone could say, don't touch it. So let's see. Mobile development. Android, iOS, Flutter, Kotlin, Swift. Lots of people have lots of opinion of mobile development. And mobile isn't going anywhere, to be specific. AI can help generate screens and simple feature, but delivering polished apps still need skilled developer. If you enjoy building product people actually use every day, that's a great path. But I will still place it in A plus tier because a lot of mobile developers are there in market. Not for iOS mainly, but for an Android application, yes, most of them are there. Maybe if it would have been an iOS development, I would have dragged it to S tier. Go. Go is a very interesting language. It is a Google's language. Small syntax, faster execution, and quite great for APIs. And great for cloud services as well. If Java is the experienced corporate manager, Go is the young engineer who finishes work and leaves on time. Companies building cloud infrastructure love to work with Go. The only reason it's not S plus, the number of opening is still smaller than Java or web development. I will place it in A plus tier. So coming to PHP and Laravel. Every year somebody announces PHP is finally dead. Meanwhile, millions of websites quietly continuing running on PHP. WordPress, Laravel, e-commerce sites, CMS platforms. PHP is basically that uncle everyone makes fun of, but somehow he's still paying everyone bills. Laravel is honestly one of the nicest backend framework to work with. Clean, productive, great for startups and freelancing. The reason it is not higher, new greenfield projects are often choosing latest tech stack, Node.js, Go, Java or .NET. So I will place PHP Laravel in A tier. Blockchain. Remember 2021, every second startup had Web3 in its bio. Some incredible technology came out of that wave. But a lot of hype disappeared too. Today, blockchain still has real application. Smart contracts, digital assets, supply chain, identity system. But the challenge is simple. Compared to backend cloud or AI, there are quite fewer jobs. If you genuinely love decentralized system, go for it. If you are choosing purely for job opportunities, there are safer ways. I will place blockchain in A plus, not because of salary, but because of lower job opening, which is providing higher salary. Game development. Every developer has had this thought at least once. Bro, I'm going to build the next GTA. Then they open a game engine, spend 6 hours fixing a camera bug, and suddenly backend development looks peaceful. Game development is creative, challenging, and rewarding. But it is also one of the most competitive industry. There are fewer studios than software companies. Deadlines could be very intense. Salary vary a lot depending on where you work. If making games is your dream, don't let this ranking stop you. Just go in knowing what the industry is like. I will be placing game development in A tier. Automation testing. First of all, can we stop pretending QA isn't engineering? The fastest way to appreciate a test engineer is to deploy without tests. Automation engineer or QA automation engineer build frameworks, write scripts, create pipelines, and help teams ship software with confidence. And AI can definitely speed up test creation, but someone still needs to understand the product edge cases and quality strategy. It is a stable career with good opportunity. Personally, I would rank it in A tier. Coming to the four last tech stack left for today. Alright, let's talk about the stack that has been declared dead every single year and still it is one of the major used framework in the industry. Java plus Spring Boot. All the banks, airlines, e-commerce, insurance company, payment gateways. Chances are, if you transfer money today, Java is involved somewhere. People sometimes call Java as boring. You know what else is boring? Getting paid every month. Java isn't the flashy new kid. It is the reliable employee who has been running billion-dollar system for decades. Spring Boot make building APIs and microservices incredibly productive and enterprise company continue to rely heavily on it. AI can generate some boilerplate code, but designing large, reliable backend system is still an engineering job. So for stability, opportunity, and long-term career growth, Java will always prevail. I will put it in S tier. Next up is .NET Stack. This is probably the most underrated stack on the entire board. Microsoft has built in an incredible ecosystem. C Sharp is modern, ASP.NET is fast, and Visual Studio is excellent. Companies building internal tools, enterprise software, ERP system, healthcare platform, and some financial application use it extensively. The only reason it does not get as much attention is because YouTube talks about MERN far more than .NET. But recruiters definitely know it's valuable. If you are in the Microsoft ecosystem, .NET is a fantastic choice. I am putting .NET in A plus category. Now comes up the front-end specialist. The place where everything looks easy until the CSS start fighting back. People think front-end is just making buttons. Then one button is perfectly centered on Chrome, slightly left on Firefox, and on Safari completely disappeared. Welcome to front-end. Modern front-end engineers care about accessibility, performance, animation, SEO, and maybe responsive design and user experience as well. AI is already helping generate UI component, so simply knowing React isn't enough anymore. The engineers who truly understand how user interact the product must stand out. I will be putting front-end specialist in A plus tier. Last is Rust. If programming languages had fan clubs, Rust would probably have the quite loudest one. And honestly, for good reason, it is incredibly fast, memory safe, reliable. Perfect for system programming and performance critical application. Companies working on browser, operating system, databases and infrastructure are increasingly adopting this Rust. The only catch, it is quite harder to learn. And the job market is still much smaller than Java Cloud or web development. Amazing technology, small ecosystem. And yes, Rust earns my A plus tier. Okay, that's my final ranking. Some of you are smiling, and some of you are already typing, bro, this is the worst tier list I have ever seen. Perfect. Because the goal wasn't to make everyone agree, the goal was to make you think. Here is what I want you to remember: technology keeps on changing, frameworks keep on changing, AI comes, might go, hype could change, but one thing never changes. Company don't pay you for knowing a framework, they pay you for solving problems. 10 years from now, React may be replaced, a Spring Boot may evolve, AI tools may definitely improve, but engineers who understand system design, database, networking, architecture, debugging, and communication, they will always have a place. So don't spend 6 months asking which stack should I learn. Pick one, build projects around it, get rejected because your first tech stack won't define your career. Your ability to learning will. Now that I have shared my tier list, I want yours. Drop your S plus stack in the comments, and if enough people disagree with me, maybe I will come up with a second part. Until then, keep building, keep learning, and I'll see you in next one.